Well, good morning, everyone. This is Keith with Positively Osceola, and you are here with us for another episode of Daybreak Live. And today, a very cool day. I get to hang out with Charlie Draper of Draper Law Office. How you doing, Charlie?
Good morning. How are you, Keith? Thanks for having me.
Well, today is an extra special day because I have the largest cup of coffee ever. It's huge. So I thought I would share it with everybody. So today's Wednesday, so middle of the week, heading toward the weekend. So what do you think? Gonna be a good day?
I think it is. I hope it is.
Exactly.
Hope all the school buses got to the schools safely.
Yeah.
We hope that every day.
Yeah, we should talk about that a little. I think we'll start up here with a little video, make it official. We'll come back and do the deal. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. So you kind of led the path here for this morning with the mention of the school bus, and I know that you're always involved with what's going on in the community, and we've talked many times about public safety and school safety, the kids, the students, teachers, everyone that's on the road. And I think even if you don't have students in Osceola County by now, you figured out that school has returned to session. And so great topic today. I know that we've done some stuff together before with regard to pedestrian safety and school safety and all, but why don't you kind of open up that, what's your outlook on that?
Well, I've thought about it. Here's what I see as the problem. On the one hand, you have a growing community, more subdivisions, more houses, more vehicles on the road. Now you add school buses to the mix.
Right.
On the other hand, you've got grade E and F roads that are designed to accommodate traffic 10 or 20 years ago.
Right.
And you've got congested traffic conditions. It's like you're cramming more sand into the same size hourglass.
Right.
Yeah. And of course, the consequences are obvious. You've got drivers who are dropping kids off to school, going to work, running late. Drivers are frustrated, pissed off.
Yeah.
Drivers are speeding to make up the lost time. Drivers are distracted by cell phones, thinking about their day that lies ahead. And as we've talked in the past, the solution, in our opinions, are one, you have to leave your house 20 to 30 minutes earlier. There's just no way around it.
Yep.
Two, you've got to leave yourself time to get the children to school or get to work, or both. And you've got to pay attention to driving, not just your driving, but everyone's driving.
Right, sure.
It's really a call for defensive driving. I mean, expect the unexpected and be prepared to react to it. Unfortunately, that's where we are. And I don't see a solution other than everyone taking self-responsibility.
Yeah, I know you and I were able to stop by, I guess it was a week and a half or so ago, and we spoke to the young lady, Rebecca, who's a school crossing guard for St. Cloud, and she had been hit by a vehicle last year. Terrible, and she's going to be having to live with some of the results of that accident, but she's, great spirit as you ran into. Right. She was giggling through the whole interview when we were talking to her, but while we were speaking to her, I think I saw 3 cars run red lights, ironically, while we were standing on the corner that she was hit on. I just don't know how you get past that, and you can see it. on US 192 in St. Cloud, it looks as if it's a 55-mile-an-hour zone. You know, they're just flying through it. You know, and some of the things we've done together have been pedestrian crosswalk based, and you can stand there and you can watch 10, 20 cars just run through those crosswalks, not really looking. You know, and with your office being right on Broadway, you can see it every day. I'm assuming.
Yeah, and what's, you know, on that piece that we did in St. Cloud, that's within the city limits of St. Cloud.
Right.
Cars going 50 miles an hour or more.
Yeah, no doubt.
It really is frightening. And then as you pointed out, you add students, either pedestrians or on their bicycles, and clearly there aren't enough police officers on the forces to cover every intersection. So that's why the community has got to take some responsibility. And I'm talking to each individual in our community. So it's really a call for safety, and we really can't ignore it. We can't make fun of it. It is here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, short of just every week reminding people from the law enforcement, you know, encouragement. They can do it in a way that not everyone else can with some of the, but you know, you talk to them and they can't possibly staff enough officers to remind everybody, look, put the phone down. I mean, I think I know that it's a terrible danger for young drivers. My son happens to be, you know, he's the cell phone police in our family. If anybody picks a phone up, even at a red light, and I believe, if I'm correct, the law allows you to do that. When you're at a stop, you could pick the phone up and look. That's a bad habit, you know, because that lends to driving and trying to catch that last bit. But you know, my son will have none of that. He doesn't allow it in the vehicle. So I don't know how we move forward other than just continuously having talks like this. I know it came up again last night in the school district board meeting, and actually they from the dais last night, they said what you just said, which is there's no way around it. You've got to leave earlier than you think you do.
You know, it kind of reminds me, and a little transparency here, when seatbelts became mandatory. Right. I was one of the ones who was reluctant to strap on my seatbelt, but over time, I'm talking about years.
Yeah,
you
right.
know, you gradually now you wouldn't think second about having putting a seatbelt on. Maybe it's going to take time with the cell phones. I don't know. I mean, we live in a totally different society. I mean, technologically, I think it's only going to get worse, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. I think we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, we've gotten to a point where there is no time that I'll speak for me, that almost constantly I'm looking for some kind of communication from somebody, whether that be staff or family or friends or just a news break. You know, there used to be that. Of course, my son is completely ignorant to this reality, but there was once a time where you and I could leave a home and there'd be no way you could talk to that person,
right,
until they arrived at the next place with a phone. But yeah, I think you're correct. I think it's going to get a little bit more dangerous. I just think it comes back down to what we're doing right now. Speak to people about it. You know, have it come up at board meetings, county, you know, commissioner meetings, city council meetings. And I think that just has to constantly be, be spoken about. There are organizations that you and I have rubbed elbows with a bit, you know, and that's that Bike Walk Central Florida that does the Operation Best Foot Forward. I think those organizations are going to have to just keep pounding away at it, and hopefully we'll get to a place that's a little more safe. So also wanted to talk a little bit about talking about commissioner and council meetings and all that. So you've always been very plugged in, since I've known you, very plugged into the community. So how did that all start? Because I met you through the St. Cloud Chamber of Commerce. How did you feel that that was as busy as you are, an investment that you wanted to make?
Well, in particular with regard to St. Cloud, we were this is back in 2001, 2002. We were looking for space in surrounding communities.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of those communities was St. Cloud. And so I thought that the best way to get to know the leaders and to have some input and exchange and communications was to join a well-respected group like the St. Cloud Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
And so through that organization, I was able to meet and make friends with a lot of people in the community. And so that was very important. We're still a member of this St. Cloud Chamber. And not only from a business point of view, but I'm talking about building personal relationships with people who turn out to be friends. I mean, I look for that every day. You know, it's all about relationships, and business will follow. But that was the main reason for getting involved with the chamber in St. Cloud. I'm very happy that we did.
Yeah, that was. I know when I joined, you were already heavily plugged in, part of the marketing committee, and others as well, of course. And that was the days of David Lane. Good guy.
A wonderful leader that we had, and I think of him frequently.
Sure, great guy, smart man, very smart man. And of course, now there's Dirk Webb is the president and CEO, good man also. So St. Cloud's done a good job with that.
Absolutely.
So, what would you say to I don't think that they teach this in school. That I don't know that I've ever heard a younger person say this to me when we brought somebody on staff. But what would you say to somebody who's maybe just starting out, deciding that they want to make Osceola County their home and maybe the home for their business? What would you say to them as far as what we just talked about, community involvement and the importance of that? We obviously mentioned the relationship, but what would you say to somebody who's just starting out?
I would say get involved with your community. There's so many organizations in the community. Go to county commissioners meetings, go to school board meetings, get on a chamber, join a chamber.
Sure.
And enlarge your sphere of influence. The business will come.
Right.
And by that way, you'll be able to be a contributor. Contribute to the communication, to the conversation of how we want our community. Don't sit on the sideline and criticize.
Mm-hmm.
Get in the game, you know. And so I think joining organizations like that is very helpful. And as I said, your business will grow exponentially the more you get involved, and get involved for the right reasons. Don't get involved just for your business. Get involved because you want to make a difference. You want to make a difference in your community. And I've always believed in that, and I've tried to follow that.
Yeah, I mean, so you've been in business long enough to see those individuals who have done exactly what you've said. And so in this area, we know all three of the chambers. It's certainly Kissimmee Chamber, St. Cloud Chamber, and the Lake Nona Chamber with Don Long. Don, certainly a friend of yours and part of that St. Cloud troop as well.
Oh, yes. I loved and miss him dearly. He was a great influence, great teacher. Can't say enough about the guy, straight up.
Yeah, smart man. I made the mistake of saying he was a former Marine. Of course, he explained that there's no such thing as a former Marine. But that's, Don's not shy.
No, he's pretty direct.
Yeah, straight up. I think the chambers, all three chambers, have done a great job in being mindful of COVID and the challenges that come along with a membership organization. But I think they've done a good job now figuring out how to do that safely for everybody, but still grow it. To me, I think it's going to be important as the young folks keep moving on in their business paths to realize that what you said is certainly correct. You have to plug in. You have to show up at those meetings. You can't just see everything online. It's just not the same at all.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a big deal. So for somebody who doesn't know too much about your business, why don't you, before we sign off here, why don't you explain your business, and just give us that elevator speech, if you would.
Okay. I actually started practicing law in New York in 1974, moved down to Florida in 84. Our practice areas are limited. We're focused on personal injury, and that probably 90% of that are car accidents. The other 10% are slip and fall, trip and falls. The second area of practice is family law. That covers divorces, visitation, custody, child support, alimony, and we have an excellent attorney, Linda Grzinski, who handles that. And so those are the two practice areas. And by limiting our practice to these two areas, it allows us to focus all of our time and attention and resources on our clients in these two areas. We're able to provide better and more efficient services. We're able to maintain constant client contact throughout the process and keep our clients better informed. We're able to give our clients and their cases the personal attention that they need and deserve. Our clients are not numbers,
Right.
Who get lost in the shuffle. We're in the business to help people.
It's interesting. It's almost a full circle where I think you can watch commercials all day on TV, and you might say the largest firm in the planet, but at the end of the day, we all are still. I think most people say they want that personal touch. They want to know who they're talking to, be able to reach somebody on the phone quickly. I know that's a huge thing to me, and I know our family. So I know that's how you've always handled your firm. So that's awesome. And I love the fact that you're you're right in Kissimmee. Look at that cat.
Sorry,
you couldn't pay for that timing. That's awesome. Well, it's just the world we live in, But what I was going to say was, so you're located right on Broadway, right across basically from the Osceola County Administration Building, the courthouse, and all that. So you're extraordinarily accessible. Or you can call. Why don't you go ahead? And so if somebody wants to reach out and get a hold of you, Charlie, how does that happen?
Okay, you can go to our website, Draper, draperlawoffice.com, or give us a call. Our main office number is 407-846-0075, or you can just stop in. We're located at 705 West Emmett Street, right across the street from the old courthouse.
Gotcha. And it is it's part of downtown for sure. So it's pretty easy to find if you're driving through that way. Anything else you want to share before we sign off?
No, I think that's it. Just everyone just needs to be aware, safety of other drivers, our children, pedestrians, the school buses that are out there, the bicyclists that are out there, and give yourself more time, 15, 20, 30 minutes more, and be a defensive driver. Expect the unexpected, because it probably will happen.
Yeah.
So you have to drive defensively.
Yeah, and I'll close with this. I think I mentioned to you, I did the other day, where I was speaking to Frankie De La Rosa, who was the public information officer, sergeant, I believe then a captain with St. Cloud PD, and since he's moved to Orlando, so he's serving there. And I saw him the other day, and he said he just had been watching such an increase in even fatal crashes in St. Cloud and Kissimmee areas. He just felt, it's going to have to be something that we really continuously remind people of what you just said. That rush to get to work because you left late is a dangerous move. So I do appreciate your time, Charlie.
Stay safe and be well.
And of course, we would be remiss if we didn't mention the Buffalo Bills, of course, are now playing. All right. Well, I appreciate your help today talking about this very important subject. I hope you have a great Wednesday and a great remainder of your week as well.
And you as well. And thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Do it again soon. Again, this is Keith with Positively Osceola, along with Charlie Draper of Draper Law Office. Together, we're making a positive difference in and around Osceola County. Thanks, Charlie.